So what goes into a roof replacement? Know what to expect from the time that you sign up with a roofing replacement quote until the time that we pull off the job and you get a brand new roof. So number one, obviously you signed the quote. What's next? Well, then one of our coordinators gets involved in the job and she handles the scheduling, the materials ordering, all those kinds of things. So she'll be in communication with you regarding the best time to do the roof, how long it's going to take. She can answer questions like, when is my dumpster going to be here? Where's it going to be placed? All those kinds of schedule related pre-job questions are kind of things that the coordinator handles for you. Then we've got the day of the job start, or maybe the evening before. Our logistics team brings out either a trailer or a dumpster and sets it in a place that works for us and for our needs, but that also is respectful of your property, and we make sure that you can still get your vehicles in and out if necessary, all those kinds of things. And then the day of the job, the crew shows up with the crew foreman. Usually you've got a crew size of anywhere from 4 to 6. If it's a big house, sometimes 8 people on the crew. And the first thing we do is go around the house and take pictures of pretty much everything. Windows, siding, decorations in the lawn, chairs, all those kinds of things, because we want to know what condition they're in before we start the job to ensure that they're in the same condition when we finish the job. So we kind of move things away from the house, and that's another reason we take pictures, so that we know where those things go then when we have to put them back where they came from. Once the grounds are protected, we put tarps up on the roof for wherever we're going to start so that we're not damaging, especially like flowers and fragile plants and so forth. Shingles fall on them, they might break. And so to kind of keep that from happening, we put tarps down to the ground to make sure that whatever comes off the roof goes down onto the lawn and not on the fragile plants. And obviously safety is always a big deal for us. We make sure that we have safety ropes and harnesses and everything. And then the first step in the actual roofing process is tearing the old roof off. So we have our tear-off shovels and all of that equipment, and we strip the old roof off down to the plywood or OSB, whatever kind of roof deck you have. That's the dirtiest kind of part of the process, and also one of the loudest. It's a dirty process no matter how you look at it, and it's difficult to completely contain it. We have to get tons of material from the rooftop to the ground into the dumpster safely and effectively, and doing that just takes a lot of skill and a lot of time. And then we try to get them off the ground right away or as quickly as possible and into the dumpster. We check the roof deck for any wood rot or any other issues like that which might have been hidden, which we couldn't see beforehand. Once we're satisfied with the condition of the roof deck and the structure in general, then we get the new roofing coming on. So that we usually have a guy or two down on the ground, and he's busy cleaning up and making sure that the grounds stay nice, and we're preparing the roof. The first thing that goes on as far as new materials go is the underlayments and the drip edge. So the drip edge goes around the bottom and the perimeter of the roof, basically to protect when you have a blowing wind or high windy conditions. Sometimes you get wind-driven water driven under the shingles a little bit, and this drip edge helps protect from that. And then you have underlayment, which covers the entire roof deck, and that's kind of the first layer of protection for your house. In the valleys and along the eaves, along the gutter edges, you also have ice and water shield, which is a necessary component for codes. Usually once the roof is torn off, or sometimes even first thing in the morning, depending on the schedule of our shingle suppliers and so forth, we're gonna have a delivery truck come in, and they have a big boom truck, so they will deliver all the shingles and other components right onto the rooftop for us. We'll secure them and store them on the rooftop. That way when we need them, they'll be right there and we get to work. Once the underlayment is down, the drip edge is on, then we start laying out the shingles in bundles and start nailing them down. It's usually 4 nails per shingle. Whenever there's a penetration through the roof, think of like a chimney or a wall or some kind of corner or a pipe or something like that. All of those things need special types of flashing. And so usually the more complex a roof is, the more things poking up through the roof there are, the longer it's going to take us to make sure that we get all those details perfect so you don't have roof leaks. Put the shingles on, put all the flashings on, the roof pipe boots, the chimney flashing, the counter flashing if there's masonry to work up. Once the shingles are all on, where we've worked up to the ridge, the peak, the top of the roof, we put your ridge vent across the top, and that allows your attic to properly ventilate so you don't get moisture, mold, and other kinds of things in your attic. That goes over the top of the ridge and then is covered by a color-matched capping shingle, which is matched to the color of the shingles. So from the ground, it really doesn't even look that different. It looks pretty much the same as your shingles. So the roof is on, you've got a new roof, and we take all of our equipment down, we clean up, we run magnets. We have like a magnet on wheels that we run around the house numerous times. Our goal is to make sure that your grounds are in as good or better condition than they were when we got there. Once that's all done, the crew leaves, the house is finished, and then your site supervisor comes back for a final inspection, where we kind of go over it for a second time to make sure that from a quality perspective, we especially focus on the kind of the high or vulnerable areas of the roof, which can be easy to get wrong. And we're very focused on making sure that those things are right every single time. We'll do a final inspection around the property as well, make sure that everything is how we found it, with a brand new roof that will last for 30, 40, even 50 years. So there's the basic process from start to finish. I'd say generally we're between 2 to 4 weeks of time from the time you sign up to the time that we complete the roof.